Hello, today we'll be putting together a 36 bottle return bin, also known as a shark tank. And then these are the tools that we're going to need today. Power drill, Phillips head screwdriver, box cutter, and hammer. It's going to be the tools we need. When we find our box that the rack came in, we're going to make sure that it says Zephyr Fluid Solutions. When you open the box, you'll find that it contains 3 bins. Each one is wrapped individually. With all of our pieces laid out, going left to right, we have our front panel, we have our rear panel, we have the bottom and the top of our bin, and we have our 2 side pieces. We also have a bag of bolts. Using the back of the bin as our base, we'll be building it up. The top part of the bin will be where the cord is, and the bottom will be where the feet are. It's very important we have these tabs sticking up. These are going to be what we interlock our panels with. Okay, we're going to start with our side panel. A couple of things to think about before we put it on there. We have these tabs on the inside. These need to be pointed towards the top of the bin. Also on the bottom and on the top, they're going to slide over these tabs. We have a flat tab that's going to line up on the inside of this panel. This first part of putting the panel in is going to take 3 bolts. There's going to be 1 at the bottom, there's going to be 1 at the top, and there's going to be 1 in the middle with this tab on the inside. Okay, we're going to get all of our bolts in place. We're going to have them finger tight at this point until we have them all in place. Okay, our second panel went on the same way as the first one did. Really important to remember that our tabs on the inside need to be facing up, and also the hole of the threading needs to be facing inside. Next, we'll put the bottom of the bin in place. Really important to remember there's tabs that need to be facing up when we place it in there. It's going to slide right into these 2 tabs in the bottom. With the bottom of the bin in place, it's really important to remember that the holes face down. This is where we're going to put our bolts. Remember, at this point, we're only going to have them finger tight. Okay, now we're going to put the front of the bin on. This is going to require 2 people, and we're going to lift it straight onto the front of the bin. Placing the front of the bin on, we got to make sure that both tabs slide into their slots. Okay, now with all of our panels in place and all of our bolts in place, we're going to go around and tighten all of our bolts, because the next part we're going to lift this onto its feet. Okay, now with a partner, we need to stand our bin up. Next part we're going to do is putting the top on. Okay, next we're going to put the top of our bin on. Really important, these white tabs need to be on the same side as your power cord. They're going to fit or sit right on these tabs up on top. There's 6 bolts that hold the top in place, and these we can go ahead and just tighten down. Okay, next we'll be installing our EM box. This is how it comes packaged. We're going to open it up. You're going to need your power cord. You're going to have 4 bolts. These wires are for a battery. You can disregard these. You will not need them. Next we'll install our EM box. Really important that the tickets are on the bottom. It's going to take 2 people to install this part. Once it's in place, very important that this part sits flush. Okay, with the 4 bolts that this unit came with, we're going to install 2 bolts on each side. Next, we'll put our power cord in place. It's very important that we make sure that it goes into these clips. These clips are going to keep the cord out of the way of the empty bottles, which could cause the cord to become unplugged. Next, we'll use the power cord that came with our EM box. It's going to install right here on the bottom. Now we've plugged in our unit and we have power. We're going to be putting our tickets in also. We'll enter our code to unlock our ticket box, and this slides straight out. Okay, we'll put our tickets into this slot here. We're going to feed our tickets into the front right here. This red button will forward it into place, and we're ready to go. Now we can test our dispenser. Now our bin is complete. We have all of our POS in place. Very important, we want to make sure that we put our assistance number also on the front of the dispenser. Last piece is going to be the lock on the cage. And we're complete.